I bet it is, Ducky. Alright guys, we're officially on the Broadwater. Keep an eye out for dolphins while we're in these waters because they do like to travel up this way. You can now take your seatbelts off, move around the boat. Just don't all move to one side. Make sure you keep one hand for you and one hand for Ducky. I'll now come around and get the names of the kids for junior driving.
Hey, Ducky, what do we say if we go underneath the bridge, Ducky?
Don't forget the duck. Tonight, wake me up.
You're very funny, Duck, you are. Very funny. Alrighty, folks, what did we think of that entry, huh? Isn't she a very, very clever duck? I think you are, Ducky. I think you're absolutely amazing. Transformers have got nothing on you, Ducky. That's what I reckon. Folks, as we pass underneath that bridge there, we're going to leave behind our beautiful Broadwater just for a moment, and we are now officially into the Narang River. Now take a look out to our left-hand side here, folks. Look at our beautiful city over there. You get a really great view of our amazing little city over there from over here. Now I'll tell you what, folks, just before the sun sets every evening, we get this really amazing sun reflection off all the windows. Just the way it's set up and how the sun drops over there, sort of hits all the windows here, makes a really beautiful view. Now a little bit of information, folks, about our city centre over there and all the high rises that we can see. Now all of those high rises, folks, except for two of them, they are all purely residential apartments. So a lot of people have a really great view from up in their homes up there. Now if we look down the buildings there, folks, towards the opposite end, we can see one that has a great big spike on the roof. That is our tallest building here on the Gold Coast, the Q1. Now that measures up at 235 metres tall. Now that measurement, folks, is without the spike. Now if we were to add the spike on top to the overall measurement, the Q1 would then become the tallest residential apartment building in the whole of Australia, measuring up to 322 metres tall. Now also, folks, out here on our left-hand side, all these beautiful homes we can see along this water's edge here. Now these homes here, folks, they make up Paradise Waters Estate. Now this estate was established 40 years ago, and prior to that it was just all swampland over here. Now get a load of these stats, folks. When they developed these sites up here 40 years ago, they sold the original blocks of land for just $25,000. Now if you were in the market to buy some land up here today in 2022, the price per block of land is now $2.5 million. And having said that too, folks, majority of the properties that they build up here, they build them on 2 blocks of land. So that's a $5 million bit of dirt. Folks, we do have some information on a few of these beautiful homes that we're going to pass. And the first house that I would like to talk about is coming up on our left-hand side. Great big white house up over here with the dark grey shutters on the windows. Now this property here, folks, is unique as it is very, very deep on this side of the river. And these guys could house a very, very large boat here. Except old mate didn't buy a boat, did he? He's got a helicopter pad. And if you take a look underneath the deck of the house there too, folks, that's not your average garden ornament, that one. That's a decommissioned World War II field gun. I think we're lucky it's decommissioned, otherwise we could be sitting duck. Folks, as we push up here to the corner, I'm going to be pointing out 2 homes on our left-hand side, okay? Now, the first house is coming up three-storied White House here with the coconut palms out the front. And the other home is the humongous cream house just past it over here. Now folks, before I start the story, this three-story White House right here, this sold 4 weeks ago for $7.5 million. Now the story I would like to share, folks, is about this great big cream house. Now this house here, folks, it was built for Keith Williams, the creator of SeaWorld. And funnily enough, he then sold it on to John Longhurst, who is the developer and owner of Dreamville. Now folks, that property there, it was built on 2.5 blocks of land. And the half block was a tropical garden. Now the last owners of that house, folks, when they decided to sell up and move on, they sold the cream house, but they kept the tropical garden block. They then built that three-story White House on the garden block. Now, a mother and father purchased the big cream house. Not long after they bought that house, folks, they gifted that whole cream house to their son for his 21st birthday. Not a bad present. I've got new socks and undies in. This goldy coloured one here with the white top, and the other one just up in front of the boat here, in front of the duck. It's a nice grey one that I'm really attached to. Now these two vessels here, folks, they are built by a boat company called Maritimo Marine. Very successful boat company, very well known boat company. They sell boats all across the world, folks. Now I'm pointing these two vessels out because just over here where the grey one sits, that house sitting behind with the timber shutters there, that home belongs to a man called Bill Barry Cotter. And Bill is well known for his boat company, Maritimo Marine. Now look guys, Bill is also well known for helping struggling school students find employment in the local marine industry, which I think is really, really cool. It just speaks a lot for the man himself. He must be a really good guy. Now this big beautiful home on our left hand side right now, looks like it's got about 5,000 windows out the front there. Goes, I'm glad I don't have to clean those windows, eh? That'd be a full-time job. Now there is also 7 chimneys up on top of that roof too, folks. Now that house there sold a little while ago for a whopping, are you ready for this one? $25 million. Now if you're wondering what $25 million gets you, well, apart from a really beautiful house on the river that has way too many windows, it also comes with an underground parking garage, a ballroom, a wine cellar, and it even has a whole entire guest residence inside the house too, folks. Absolutely humongous home. Anyway, I think that's enough of the rich and famous. What do you reckon? I think it could be a really, really good time to start some junior driving. What do you say, kids? Not much? Oh, there we go, there we go. Alrighty, guys. Well, Shani's going to share a few of the rules that we have up here for being in the skipper's seat. And she'll call your guys' names out shortly. See you up here soon.
Alright, so when you're in the captain's seat, you can't press any buttons. Those ejector buttons and you get thrown